As Marvel's The Avengers begins to open in theaters across the globe, the studio and its parent company took time to celebrate last week at the film's premiere at Disney's El Capitan Theater in Hollywood. And then it was back to work. Yes, as you put on your collectible 3D glasses and nestle into your movie theater seat to watch The Avengers, hopefully several times, Marvel Studios is already setting their next round of movies in motion. That's why all this week here on Beyond the Trailer, I'll be walking you through Marvel's next steps and what you can expect post-Avengers. Today, Iron Man 3, which is set to hit theaters May 3rd, 2013. Without a doubt, Iron Man is the crown jewel of Marvel Studios, the one that started it all, their Snow White if you will. Even after Thor and Captain America, Iron Man is still the big draw, evidenced by the evolution of his placement on the Avengers posters, from back to front to mask up. And to think Robert Downey Jr. had to fight for the role. But while director Jon Favreau had fought for Downey Jr., rightfully so, fast forward to Iron Man 2, which was not well received by audiences. Downey Jr., realizing that Iron Man was as much his savior as he was the film's, quickly made moves behind the scenes to have Favreau replaced. Moves he could make, as Downey Jr.'s contract gives him approval of the film's director. And while after Favreau's Cowboys and Aliens flopped, which was supposed to star Downey Jr. until Sherlock Holmes 2 got in the way, not too many people would say it was wrong to get some fresh blood for Iron Man 3. So who got the gig? That would be Shane Black. Now, a number of you might not know who Shane Black is, and therefore don't know how excited you should be to hear his name. Allow me to elaborate. Shane Black's very first screenplay was Lethal Weapon, which he wrote in just 6 weeks and that his agent sold in 3 days. Things got spotty from there, though, at The Last Boy Scout and Last Action Hero, with occasional flashes of brilliance like The Long Kiss Goodnight. Then, being the Tony Stark of screenwriters, Black kind of flamed out, but reappeared in 2005 with his directorial debut, Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, which starred Downey Jr. And seriously, if you haven't seen either The Long Kiss Goodnight, which co-stars Nick Fury, or Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, rent them both immediately. But in what seems like overkill, Black has a co-writer for Iron Man 3, Drew Pearce, an up-and-coming British screenwriter who got Marvel's attention with No Heroics, a television comedy about off-duty superheroes. Also of note, looks like the back of Tony Stark's armor will now read Made in China, as it was just announced that Marvel Studios and Disney will co-produce Iron Man 3 with China's DMG Entertainment. As a result, part of the film will be shot in China, and DMG will distribute the film in the country. That's no small deal, as China only allows 20 foreign films into the country each year, and it's a major movie market. Titanic 3D just broke box office records there, opening with $58 million and pushing the film past the $2 billion mark, as I noted in this week's Movie Math. This is where having Disney for a parent company is a huge plus for Marvel, as the studio already has deep ties with China, including a new animation initiative, plus Hong Kong and the upcoming Shanghai Disneylands. And in an amazing bit of synergy, the Iron Man armor is already red and yellow. So, who will be jetting to China with Robert and Shane? Word is that Ben Kingsley is in talks to play the villain, but considering this news about China, doesn't that make it likely that the Mandarin will be the big villain? And well, as awesome as Ben Kingsley is, he's not Chinese. That doesn't mean Kingsley won't still be in the film, but also look for a major casting announcement of a prominent Chinese actor. Chow Yun-fat would be pretty cool. But while the villains are still up in the air, Gwyneth Paltrow, Don Cheadle, and Scarlett Johansson are all set to return. Yes, no Black Widow movie for now, as the character looks to remain supporting. Supporting indeed. Marvel Studios head honcho Kevin Feige says Iron Man 3 will be a full-on Tony Stark-centric movie. He's stripped of everything, he's backed up against a wall, and he's got to use his intelligence to get out of it. He can't call Thor, he can't call Cap, he can't call Nick Fury, and he can't look for the helicarrier in the sky. That brings up an interesting point. Once you bring all these heroes together, how do you pull them apart again? Supposedly, they all have their own titles in the comic book universe, yet any comic book reader will tell you there are guest appearances all the time. But then again, Marvel is becoming famous for its cameos, so expect a few familiar faces. What faces do you want to see in Iron Man 3? And which is your favorite Iron Man movie so far? Mine is Iron Man 2, and I'd love to see Sam Rockwell return as well. As for Scarlett Johansson's Black Widow, considering The Long Kiss Goodnight, Shane Black could be the best thing that's ever happened to her. Write your thoughts down below, and be sure to tune into all of Beyond the Trailer's comic book movie coverage, as well as the coverage on my comic book channel, Think About the Ink, right now.